one of the most revolutionary and one of the most important things that you can do is to represent your community, especially the ones that aren't here for you today, but passed on trying to give you a better life. Now, a lot of people think that's a bunch of bull because they don't think about nobody but themselves, okay? Right now, I will tell you, if you feel that way and you really want to endure what is to come, because I have to ask you a question. Which candidate represent bondage not only for the black man, not only for the African, okay, but even those who don't know their heritage and are European, Chinese, Indian, or whatever? Because we have a bunch of smart people, but they act dumb, okay? And one of the things that we don't do is we do not prepare our community, our children, sometimes not even ourselves, for what is to come. So one of the things that I can tell you is there's one candidate that reminds me of what people talk about the four horsemen. And what they were representing is apocalyptic times. See, all they brought with them was chaos. And the last horse was death. Now, you may think I'm being a little dramatic, but as in slavery, as in today, we have the death of people for almost no reason at all, just because people have the ability and think that they have the right to misuse certain people in society by virtue of having a badge or having the right type of skin or just thinking that they're better than somebody else. You see, we take voting for granted. And I had to come to a conclusion myself. I had to actually look deep within myself because, I want to say F it, but that's exactly what they want me to do. They want you to not partake in this political process. They don't want you participating in anything that could slow their role. And their role is world domination. We look at the cartoons, the movies, everywhere we turn. They're telling you what they're going to do to you, but you can't pay attention because you want to be entertained or you want to entertain somebody. Everybody thinks everything is a joke, but Project 2025 is no joke. When they actually hung people and lit them on fire, that wasn't no joke. And if you think it can't happen again, just don't participate. But I tell you, I really, in some crazy way, I feel like I'd like to be able to be around to see the look on people's face, almost like that movie where the young black girl she wanted to write a book. She wanted to talk about slavery. And all of a sudden, before you know it, she was zapped back into slavery. And this is the funny thing. We all think slavery is gone. We think that, that happened 400 or 500 years ago, not knowing every day that we trade our time for money and we don't have the freedom to do what we want, not to live abundantly, to sit down here and have to worry about somebody wanting to hurt you just simply by the way you look, even though they're yours, their fathers, their grandfathers, and mothers. You are the man that was created for all others to come forth. but you don't want to act like it. Some of us wearing dresses now. We think it's funny. You come on, a grown man, you come on TV with a dress on. We think that being bought and paid for is funny. We don't realize that when we get a check for our vote, that check can nowhere in the world cover the damage that you've done to yourself, your children, and your community. But they know that you're selfish people sometimes. They know you want to be so much like them, they know they can pay you off. All they have to do is have a couple of $1 billion and buy votes because you for sale, just like you were on the stock market. Oh, I'm lying. You may still be on the stock market. We don't know. We don't know nothing no more, but we claim that we do. You don't know if they're selling you, your family, and the person next door on the stock market. You understand? But you think you know everything. And now all of a sudden, since it's starting to, creep up into other people's communities, the fact that rich people don't care about nobody but themselves, now all of a sudden, oh, we should have listened to the black folks. Well, you saw us burning. You saw us being lynched. You saw people being, beaten in the streets, dogs sicked on them and everything else. I mean, you saw all this, but you didn't do anything. It's just like the black man, seeing another black man getting beaten and torn asunder and not doing anything. You stand there like your feet is in concrete, but your mind is in concrete. You're in bondage and don't even know it. Even I have the sense enough to understand that when I have to go back to work at an age that I should be like most Europeans, seeing the world and doing everything, but you got to worry about bills and everything else, and they're not totally at fault. A lot of it I can blame on me. But the framework for our demise, the framework for us not being, in a position to live life abundantly, the framework was framed by those in power. You see, we got framed for all the murder raps, all the stealing and everything else. But let me tell you who's the biggest murderer and the biggest thief. Do you think rich people get the money that they get by doing legal things? The legal things and legalese is for you and me. It's not for them because they're above the law. Or don't you know that? I wanted to give this video, and come out and talk to people before, Tuesday, because tomorrow is D-Day. Tomorrow you're going to find out if they dropped a bomb on your ass one way or another. Okay? And you'll know when you look in the mirror that you did not participate, you did not even fight for your right. And see, one of the things I had to look at is that, maybe I don't want to participate in something, but am I going to be so selfish to worry about just what I want, or do I think about the community as a whole? You see, this is what happens with our rappers, our celebrities. You see, they're making it, but they got to keep on doing what they're doing because that lifestyle gets addictive. And see, if they do not do what they're doing, then they wind up poorer than us. You think I'm lying? Look at a lot of football players and celebrities. Made millions of dollars and don't have a penny to their name right now. And it's a sad thing. But sometimes you the one make yourself sad. Now, let's get on to something really serious. So you don't want to vote? You don't care about society? You don't care about yourself? You don't care about anybody else? And so you would allow the very enemy that you have but you smile in his face, but you want to destroy your brother. And let me tell you something. There's just one of the things that I'm going to keep saying is there's just one human race. There ain't no white and black and all that. All these things were what they used to call, what I can tell you right now, what I call them, okay? BS. Because those are colors of a scheme. They are not representative of a people. Hue, meaning color, man, you're looking at them. And they got different colors of men. But only one man is capable of making all men. But let's not go there. Because people get jealous when we talk about the dominant man or gene in this society or in this world. But we act as though we recessive. We act like we weak because we don't come together. If the world fears one thing, and that is for all people of color to come together. Why? Because you can't outnumber those people. All people of color, you see, actually, when all people of color come together, you have one human race again. The only reason why they want to divide, and they do it because it's their MO, the way that to control a person or to control a community, to control a city, a state, a country, or the world is to keep people divided. And to make some people like wards or policemen or legislators, you supposedly make them more important than other ones, so that what it is that they're like group leaders, okay? Group leaders have followers. And then those group leaders report to what we call mid-level leaders. Then you got your high-level leaders. Don't think that just because we elect a president, that president has the power to do anything for you. They can barely do something for themselves. They can get rich being told what to do. And if they don't do it, they wind up dead. Now, if you think that's a joke, all you got to do is look at your history. And I'm going to tell you something else. God help you if you got something that those rich people want. Because one way or another, they're going to get it. They wanted you, and they went and got you. They wanted to build a nation, and they went and got labor. Okay? And now that the nation is in place, some people say, well, let's get rid of the labor. Okay? The fact that is, if you call America, the one that we talk about, the melting pot and everything else, that makes everybody almost is an immigrant. But the people who got here first, and you don't really want to talk about none of that because your lies have been exposed. So, whether you vote or not is up to you. Most of you don't realize you're still on a plantation. When you don't have the freedom to operate as you want to, just because you operate in your little neighborhoods and do anything to your own people, if you really want to be a man, you really want to be something, do like Al Capone. Get out there in them streets, Go into the places that really have money and see where you at right then, you see? Because a lot of people, when they gone against their brother that look like them, they are one of the most vicious people that you can ever see. But you take that 5-foot European or tell him to go sit down in that corner, and he'll be just as docile as a lamb. I never could understand it. That's why they'll tell you in a minute. It's not about size a lot of times. It's about power. You understand? It's about the ability of one man to make another man do almost anything he wants. And the ones that they can't control, they easily just try to discard them. They want to discourage you from voting. They want to discourage you from partaking in the political process so that they don't have to deal with you. And when they get all the power, then they'll deal with you however they want to. And you know how that is. Whether you vote or not, like I said, that's up to you. Just understand that you were given the opportunity by your ancestors to vote, and to pick up where they left off, you refused. I almost made that sad mistake myself. But my spirit told me something different. You want to be a true revolutionary? You really want to make a difference? Do the things that rich people don't want you to do. Be the man that they don't want you to be. Listen to your own thoughts. Stop thinking everything is so funny and thinking that you got to be entertained 24 hours a day. We got work to do. We got children. We got families. We got communities. Look, you don't have to be a slave all your life. You got the power to be a king, but you don't know it. You think scarcity when you should be thinking abundance, and you go out there and you repeat the deeds of foul people, which makes you foul. And that's something that our people are suffering from more than anything else. Wanting to be somebody else when they are already, you are the typeset of which all types of people are supposed to follow. But you do not actually act as though you know that. So therefore, you get led around like sheep. People laugh a lot of times when people don't know their own power. Okay? It's like Samson. That's what this reminds me of. Samson, Delilah. He knew Delilah didn't mean him no good, but he still went over there by that poison. Dare to be yourself.